Welcome everyone, I'm GWFawkes. This is the Model Gaming Show live every Sunday. Just as a reminder, I'm not looking at paying attention at chat right now. That'll be after the show, after I'm done. But this is the week of June 10th, 2018, the biggest week in video games. This was E3 week. And if you want to see all my live E3 reactions, up-to-date reactions, I did a show every day for every major conference. Even talked about the PC gaming show a little bit. So there were 8 major conferences, and I talked about the big 6. So yeah, it was a great E3 this year. A lot of new game announcements, a lot of things going on. I'm not going to touch on any new game announcements, okay? It's if you paid attention to E3 at all and headlines at all, they were all over. So what I want to do is I want to get into the best of E3 and then Sony and Fortnite afterwards, okay? So I'm gonna go through what my favorite things of E3 were, or the best things that I thought I saw at E3 from the conferences and just the announcements. Obviously, I was not there to see it on hand, but that's okay. There's so much news out there and so many on-hand impressions that I feel other outlets have that covered. But for my opinion, here we go. So I'm going to start off with Bethesda. Now, not a strong conference, just an okay conference. It was fine. It didn't need to be as long as it was for the information that they announced, and really their major game I'm not even going to talk about. So for me, the best things were Andrew WK coming out and performing Ready to Die. I friggin' loved that. That was fantastic. I just, he's one of those artists that I really enjoy. I really like, and it's from his album I Get Wet, appropriately named, I guess. Ridiculous album. The title track is I Get Wet as well. It's ridiculous. But yeah, perfect for the setup of Rage 2, which I liked Rage, but I totally embraced the new direction they've gone on this. I like the colors. I like the fast-paced movement. It reminds me of Doom. I think that's what it's supposed to. It's going to be an open-world Doom. Vehicles, the color, the power, not the powers, but the powers that you have. The grenades look amazing. I really like that extended gameplay footage. So that's the first thing. And the next thing and last thing for Bethesda's conference that I liked, Wolfenstein Youngblood. Super excited about this game. It comes out next year, and it stars BJ Blazkowicz's twin daughters. One of them seems to be a brawler, the other seems to be like a sniper, and it takes place like 20 years after all the stuff that's happened with him. I hope he's still a part of the game. If you watched this show regularly, last year, that was the most fun game I played all of last year, by far. I just had so much fun with that. The story was great, and really enjoyed it. Next conference, gonna be a short one, Devolver. It was like 19 minutes long. They came out, they brought the friggin' crazy. But of note, my favorite thing of note was my friend Pablo. So it looks like a shooter, right? And you have all these shooter mechanics, and that's what they're really honing in on. But what it looks like to me, especially after just now playing it, is a Trials game. Trials, if you don't know, is a motorbike game that you have to go through an obstacle course and figure out how to get through it. That's exactly what this looks like, but with guns. You're balleting around and pirouetting around and floating around, and it looks incredible. It looks super fun, and I really don't want to get hands on it. That's it, plain and simple. Looks really jolly, if you can say such a word exists for that much violence. Next is EA. Didn't have a great press conference. I'm not even going to talk about the big games because frankly they didn't really show anything really eye-popping to me for any of their big games, especially Anthem. It was almost the same damn demo they showed like last year, and if it was a different demo, it looked exactly the same. Now, I've heard good impressions on it, but moving on, I have 2 notes for that. Unravel 2 Shadow dropped day of. I'm gonna play that real soon. I'm gonna try and play that this Tuesday or next week, since it's a new game. Gonna get that, stream that for you guys. And the next is Sea of Solitude. Okay, this is by a German company out of Berlin called Yomei Games, J-O, not Y-O, J-O-M-E-I, I think. And it was poignant. It was a poignant demonstration of the game on loneliness and depression and how this one woman, Kay, becomes a monster, and it's how you are going through and turning her human again. Great presentation by the lead developer there, and that's something to look for sure. Definitely a great presentation on that one. Jumping to Sony. Now, upon reflection, I've had a lot to think about this week, and for me, Microsoft's conference, you have to take it as just a conference, okay? You have to take it as a whole. I still think Microsoft press conference was the best, and after thinking about it a lot, I think Sony's came in second. So Sony, the gameplay demos that they showed for all the games were great, but for The Last of Us 2, it was something special, and I want to highlight the animations. The animations were, using hyperbole, absolutely jaw-dropping. The thing that stood out to me most is a guy got stabbed and shot and beat up enough to where he's kneeling, and he's breathing and he's looking up, and then you can see he's just like, he's had enough, and he slowly lowers his head like that, and when he gets hit, and you can see that he has a pained look on his face, and it's different. It's not the same canned animation. It looks ridiculous, and if it's like Witcher 3 shit happening right now, or Killzone shit happening right now, where it comes to find out it's being played on a huge high-end PC that this isn't in the game, I wouldn't be surprised, but apparently it is actually the game, and it's incredible. The Sony game that stole the show for me, though, was Ghost of Tsushima, excuse me. The art style of that game, it looks incredible. It reminds me of classic Japanese samurai movies. It reminds me of, oh my gosh, I'm blanking on the Tom Cruise Ken Watanabe film. I'm embarrassed. I love that damn movie, The Last Samurai. It reminds me of that. The art style in this is incredible. It had the most poignant image for me of the entire conference, the one-on-one battle under the red tree and with the leaves all on the ground, and then the Mongols coming with their arrows and slowly burning around them. That was it for me. That sold me. I will buy a PlayStation 4 because of that game. That's it. God of War and Last of Us 2 didn't knock it home. That definitely did. And moving into the next game, Resident Evil 2 Remake, for sure did. I skipped Resident Evil 7 for no damn good reason. I do really want to play it, and I want to play it in VR though. That's Resident Evil 7 I want to play in VR, and I'm waiting for them to release it on PC but for VR, but I'm not sure if that happened actually. But if I get a PlayStation 4, I'm going to get the Pro, and I'll get the VR setup, and I want to play that in VR. So that's why I've been holding off on that. But this game looked gorgeous. Like, you can feel the damn budget on this. This is a remake. This is not a remaster. They have remade this damn game, and it looks incredible. And for kind of the surprise for me and a lot of people of the Sony press conference, Control. I'll preface this by saying I love Quantum Break. Okay, I think that's a great game for the Xbox if you haven't played it. You don't have to do any of the story crap, nothing. I just really think that's a solid 10-hour game, 12-hour game, high budget 12-hour game with a good story. This looks like Remedy finally figured out all their controls, all their lore crap, all the craziness, and it's all in this perfect version of a game. You are this director who has this special gun, and you're at this location called the Old House. It's like the building, or the old place. The Old House or the Old Place? The Old Place is a restaurant near where I live. So I'm going to say the Old House. The Old House. And it looks great. Really good. Immediately invested, immediately entrenched in the lore and the world of it. I'm sucked in already because of it. So yeah, Sony had a great press conference. But yeah, those moments really stood out for me. Next on Ubisoft. Ubisoft. I'm just going to highlight two things. Not Beyond Good and Evil 2. You saw a little bit of gameplay, but I saw some pre-alpha footage before that. It looks good. It's coming along. That is a next-gen game. That game ain't coming out for this gen. If it does, it'll be on the Xbox One X, maybe PS4 Pro. That game's like 2 years off minimum. That's going to be 2020 December probably for sure. We're like 2 years out from that game. So don't care about another story trailer. It was fantastic. Really cool. It's a prequel. I didn't know that. But Skull and Bones looked phenomenal. And especially from the turnaround from last year where it looked like just kind of like an alpha game that they just decided to develop. This looks like a full-fledged friggin' experience. Naval combat. They really showed enough. Show your game. They really showed enough. And it made it look incredible. The naval warfare, my favorite part was that you banded up to take out this huge ship. And then afterwards, it was like everyone kind of did one of these moments, like... And then everyone started fighting each other for the loot. Fantastic moment and great. I'm looking at chat right now. I can't talk. I'm going to continue with the show. Let me get to you afterwards, man. I'm finishing up. Microsoft, okay. Forza Horizon 4. That game looks incredible. I played Forza Horizon 3. Changing seasons, they say it really matters. They're going to change on a weekly basis, which is really damn cool. They're going to have timed events to that. And yeah, I mean, that game looked incredible. I'm sure it was running on an Xbox One X or a high-end computer, but the draw distance on that game looked ridiculous. The seasons really look like they're going to matter. And yeah, it looked very, very good. Gears of War 5. I thought they showed just enough. I'm currently playing through Gears of War 4 to get caught up, so I don't know the story or anything like that. But the gameplay and the enemies that they showed looked great. I'm a Gears fan. I don't know why it took me so long to play this new one, Gears of War 4, but it got, I wouldn't say it got mixed reviews, but it just got solid reviews, nothing incredible. And I hope they switch up the formula a little bit more in this next one. And finally, with the Microsoft conference, because they showed so many, Microsoft just had a huge conference, and I'm trying to condense it down into just a couple of moments. And the moment that did it for me, and I think that stole E3 this year, was Phil Spencer's thanking everyone for coming out. He's loving life, going, that was the best press conference. I hope everyone has a great E, and he gets cut off before he can say 3. And they shadow drop the Cyberpunk 2077 trailer, which was awesome. Really cool looking, really great. Just the vibe and the characters and everything looked really fun. And a lot of the impressions that I read is that's the city. That, yes, it doesn't look as good as that CG trailer, right? But that is the city that you're playing in, and when you walk out, you're in that CG trailer, and I think that's a master stroke by CD Projekt Red, the developers of the game. I really think that that is an incredible move by them, and it sets the stage. I've read a lot about it. Witcher 3 is one of my favorite games of this generation by far, and it's definitely in the top 2 or 3, you know, and so very anticipated. And they launched a CD trailer, a trailer, and then a behind doors closed look, and everything coming out of it is just, everyone's basically saying it's amazing. So those were the top moments from every press conference. And I want to finish with something that also came out of the press conference, a huge negative that has a lot of people upset, and I totally understand why. And it's hard at this point to see Sony's reasoning behind it other than anti-consumer, you know, views of we don't want to share because we're in the lead, right? So it was announced that Fortnite, the biggest game in the world, apparently has 150 active users. Jesus Christ. God, sorry, I have to like recover from just that. That it's coming to Switch. Everyone applauds, goes, yeah, we already knew that, duh. And then news comes out that, oh yeah, if you've ever had your PlayStation 4 Epic account, like signed in on your Epic account on your PlayStation 4, you can't take that to Xbox One or the Switch. And of course everyone was like, oh wait, you just mean like, no, we can't use it at the same time. No, you can't take it. If you want to play on Switch and you have it on the PS4, you're out. You got to start a whole new character. That's kind of a big blow. And for anybody new coming in, why would you buy, if you had a PS4, why would you buy it for that? It would make more sense now if you only have a PS4. I get it, okay? But man, the Switch is so great because you can take it on the go, right? And it would be so awesome, and it is so awesome if you have a PC or an Xbox and you go, hey, you know what? I just had a game, great game on a Fortnite on my PC. I'm going to throw that on my Switch. I'm going to go take the bus somewhere, take the train, go to work, in between like lunch break, play a little Fortnite or something. That's friggin' awesome. I don't care what anyone says. That is cool. I don't play Fortnite at all. That's incredible. And for Sony just to go, nah, we're, I think they're, I'm not saying it verbatim, I'm paraphrasing, but their quote was something like, yeah, we're interested in listening to what our users say. It was already said, dude. It was already said. Like, it's bullshit. And so basically Microsoft and Nintendo have come out and said, hey, cross-platform's available for every friggin' game that comes out. Sony just ain't willing to do it. And so now with 150 million people playing this game, now it's becoming an issue. I thought it would become an issue with Minecraft, honestly. I mean, Nintendo and Microsoft partnered for Minecraft. We're in a great friggin' time for video games, right? And it's just, I don't understand now Sony's viewpoint. I get it. They're 2-1 ahead, but they're not 2-1 ahead in PC. I can tell you that. I guarantee you most of those Fortnite players are playing on PC. So that's a large audience that, yes, they're getting, but for people that have a Switch and want to play it on the go, now those people are going to go, well, I could play it on the PC, or I'd rather just play it on the Switch. Especially with them in such a lead, right? And this gets into kind of my ideal for what Sony's doing, right? Sony is winning the now. With Microsoft announcing that, yeah, they're already deep in development on their next Xbox that's coming out next year or something like that. And everyone was like, what? Or 2 years. It's coming out in 2020 with different modes. So it's going to be like a base, a middle, and a premium, right? Sony's playing for now, but Microsoft learned from this generation and they're playing for the future. And I don't know if Sony's playing for the future. The PS Pro definitely wasn't playing for the future. Their current act right now is what turned people off from Microsoft, where Microsoft, imagine if a game comes out and you can play it on Microsoft and Nintendo consoles, but not PS4 together. That will matter. That is why the Xbox 360 did so well, is because of Xbox Live Arcade and Xbox Live, is everyone wanted to play together. Well, imagine if the PS4 is its own isolated ecosystem and then they move on to the PS5 and it's the same thing. Well, you got PCs, and I mean, what if Microsoft just went, hey, Sony, screw you. Windows users aren't playing with you. Like, that would be huge. I don't know if that's possible, honestly. I don't know, but hypothetically, right? If you have Nintendo and Microsoft Xbox both combining and playing together with PCs, and then everyone's in their little PS4 ecosystem, that's going to matter. And I just hope that Sony isn't, they're so arrogant right now because they've sold just a ton of consoles, right? They're leading Microsoft 2-1, easy. I think it's more than that now, but Microsoft has learned from that. They're not stupid. Phil Spencer's certainly not, especially with the announcement of 4 new purchase studios and a brand new one to create new IP. They're playing for the future here, and it worries me that Sony's arrogance, and they're sitting like this. They're like, yeah, we killed it this year. We killed it last year too. We've killed it this whole console generation. We're good. Like, that's it. if Microsoft comes out the gate with their next console before them too, and it's a huge leap, and there's a lot of options, and there's a lot of games, it's going to be, and you can play all the online games together with your Nintendo systems, with your PC, especially if you can play with an Xbox One too. I mean, we're going to have to see. A lot of speculation on my part. I'm just worried that Sony their hubris is getting the best of them. Their arrogance is getting the best of them right now, because it only behooves everyone to have everyone playing the same game together. That's something to talk about. That's something to be excited and happy about. So, all right, that's it for this week. Thank you, everyone. This is the Model Gaming Show. I am GWFawkes, GWFawkes on Instagram and Twitter. You can find me here Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday nights around 7 to 8 until 9 or 10 every night, or all those nights. I'm trying to read your name here. I'm Kyle. How's life? I'm Kyle. How's life? Life's good, Kyle. Life is good. I don't know if you're still there or not, but I'm gonna call the show right now, cut the recording, and then come back on if anybody's still around. So thank you again. Twitch.tv Model Gaming Show. Have a good night.